Well, hi everybody, this is Etta, and you see I'm just in the old lounger around the house here today. I'm just around the house in my lounger, and I'm not made up very well, but it is warm today. But I've come on here to tell you about the concert. I made one and it was too lengthy and they wouldn't let me upload it, so I guess I'm a gift to gab. So here it goes. Well, we went. This is the show that we went to see, and I mean it was really a marvelous show. I'll cut down maybe from the other one, and maybe I can get it in on 2 videos this time. But when we got there, it was late. We got a real late start because my husband come in from my son's. He had went to visit for a few days, and he got home on Thursday night. And he decided he's going with Cree and I, and then she was going to be late. We couldn't leave until about 3:30, and she got here. And about the time she got here, my oldest daughter, she called and she said, "You guys still there?" "Oh yeah." "Well, can I go? I decided I want to go. I'll be there." So here we had to wait on her. And so we didn't get over there until 5:30 or so. And it's a little, maybe an hour and 15 minutes from the house here. And so anyway, we thought it started at 7 and it ended up it's not. So we had plenty of time. It didn't start till 8 o'clock. And so anyway, we had to go and check into her room and everything. We got her room, and anyway, when we got in there, I'm going to tell you at the very beginning. This is very sad, very sad. We got in there and all seated, and Christine or Cree was sitting there, and we was all waiting. And it was just about 5 minutes before the show started, and she looked and she says, "I can't do this. I can't do this." I said, "What do you mean you can't do this?" "Mother, I'm sorry. But I gotta go to the room and I gotta go to bed. I am give out and I'm getting dizzy and I don't know. I can't hardly sit here." And she says, "My head's a swimming." I said, "Well, are you gonna be all right?" She says, "Oh yes." I said, "You want me to go with you to the room?" And she says, "No." And my husband said, "I'll take you to the room." "No, you just sit there. The show's going to start and I'll be just fine. I just need to go and go to bed." So she missed out on a very good concert. So that's what happened to my daughter, Cree. It's a shame because she missed out on such a fabulous show. Well, when it started, the first one that came out was Patsy Cline, or the girl that's dressed like Patsy Cline. And she sang only 4 or 5 songs of Patsy Cline's is all. And she wasn't all that good, I didn't think. She sang all right, I guess, but tell the truth about it, I've heard the singers here like Laura and Eminem, Shaylee, in the past, all those winners of Cree's contest, and even the ones that didn't win. I mean, they could have, pretended to be Patsy Cline and sing Patsy Cline's song and really listen to her songs and try singing like she did and sound like her. She sounded a little bit like her, but no. Well, anyway, she was okay, and I enjoyed the songs that she sang because they brought back a lot of memories. And then the next guy on was Richie Valens. He was a rock and roller back in my time, and even in the 60s and stuff, he was a rocker rolling. And he came on, and he was a marvelous. And could he ever get down and play and sing? I mean, he just could have you up. If I wasn't out of breath and felt good, I could have just jumped up and done dancing all over the miles. But he could play the guitar. And talk about playing a guitar. He could play a talking guitar. Now, do you people know what a talking guitar? You ones that plays guitars or say they want to be a guitar player should know what I mean by a talking guitar. I mean, when he played, he could start playing the music before you start singing the song, and him singing a song. And you knew right away just exactly what song that he was playing, and even the words. I mean, how he could do one strand from another and make that thing talk. I mean, you could hear the melody, the tune, the words that was in the song, and he'd say, well, I'm going to start playing, and when we start, I want all of you that knows this song to sing it with me. And so a lot of them did. I mean, I didn't open my mouth or anything, but I knew the song that he was going to play. And then he was on there and he interacted with the crowd a lot. And he must have been on there for at least 45 minutes to an hour. And as much as he got up and jiggled and danced and done, and hard as he played and sung and did, I imagine he was glad to get away from there. But the lights are so bright, and he started looking out at the crowd. And he put his fingers up like this. Hey, I know there's people out there, but I can't see you because I'm blinded up here. He said, turn down the lights. So they turned down the lights on him. Then he says, now I can see. I think I can see. He says, well, I'm going to start asking questions here. I want to know what kind of crowd I've got here at that I'm with tonight. And he says, I always like to know what kind of crowd that I'm playing for. Entertaining. He said, all right, if you have been married, no, the only ones that I want to hold up their hand is the ones that's only been married for 10 years. He looks out over the crowd and he goes like this, you know. He says, well, I don't see a hand. He says, all right, now I want you, the only ones that's been married for 20 years, to hold up their hand. And he went like this. He says, oh, there's one, two, maybe I missed one, but at least I seen two, I think. He says, now I want to know from you guys how many that has been married at least 30 years to hold up your hands. That's one's been married for 30 years. And he looked, he says, oh, there's quite a few more. He says, now for 40 years. He says, if you've been married for 40 years, held up your hand. And he says, oh, a lot more. I mean, a lot more spring up on that. He said, well, the last one I am going to ask is for 50 years. And then, naturally, my husband and I held up our hand, and the whole row in front of us, it seemed like, held up their hand, and up and down, you know. But anyway, he says, aha. He says, and you know about the 50s and the early 60s, huh? And so, and then he went and played Boogie Woogie, and I don't know how many songs he did sing. And I mean, he could get down and dance. And that guitar, I mean, he is a guitar player. And that's what I'm saying to the ones that's on here. The ones that, yeah, they're learning to play the guitar. I'll say they're not really a guitar player yet. They've learned 1 or 2 or 3 chords, possibly 3 chords. And here they do that. It doesn't make any difference if they're playing Silent Night or if they're playing, well, any song that you can come up with. It's the same, 3 chords or 2 chords or whatever they play. It's the same thing. I mean, so how can you tell what song you're going to play if it sounds all the same? And then they try and sing. And like I said, I can't sing and carry a tune. But so help me, there's some of them that sings, and they got a real nice voice, and they got a very nice tone to their voice. But they really don't sing the tune nor the melody. And everybody says, oh, you sure made that your own. Well, I guess I could be a singer then. I could sing and get up there and start singing, and didn't care whether I carried a tune or a melody or anything, just long I was singing and saying the words. That's terrible of me, aren't I? That's terrible. But anyway, that's what I was trying to get at on the radio show the other day. But now back to him, and he was so good. And then he says, I wish that we had room up here in front of the stage, because the aisles are big and is wide enough here, but I'd like to have them strolling up the aisle and coming in front and down. But he said there's no room up here in front of the stage, and he played the stroll. And when he started playing the stroll, he went and turned sideways with the step, and then he turned the sideways with the step, and then he turned the sideways. Did that stroll. It's a stroll. It's a step that you do for the stroll. I bet none of you even know what the stroll is. They got to call it the line dance, but it was a stroll we had. And it was a beautiful thing. I have strolled around many a dance floor. And then he told us something I don't think the manager really wanted anybody to know, but he had to tell it. He says, I want to know how many's going to come and see, when Chubby Checkers get here, how many's going to come and see Chubby Checkers? Oh, God, I held in my hand. I got to go see old Chubby. I got to see him. And he said that he went and he has been on the same program with Chubby Checkers. And that when he says, hey, I want 3 or 4 of you come up here at the stage right here. I want to show you something. And he bent down and he showed him his guitar. He says, what does that say across my guitar? It says, Chubby Checkers. He says, Chubby Checkers has autographed my guitar here when we have been together. And he is the most loveliest man. And just think, he's 69 and going strong yet with his performances. And I thought to myself, 69? Now listen, in high school, I was 17 and 18 years old, and we was doing the twist. And I'm quite sure that Chubby Checkers was older than I was when he came out with the twist. Now you kids know what the twist is? Well, how you learnt the twist is that you put your foot out and you put your toe down and you pretended there was a cigarette and you were twisting, put your toe down and start twisting your foot back and forth like you're putting that cigarette out. That's the way we learn how to do the twist. And you do the other foot. And you go backwards and forth and do this or that. And then you have a combination of twist motions of your own. But anyway. I have done that twist all over the dance floors too. But anyway. But I'm 74, and I do believe Chubby Checkers, maybe he was only 69 when this man did a performance with him, and he's just forgotten. But anyway, I just know Chubby's got to be more than 69 years old. But anyway, that was his performance, and I mean, it was one fantastic performance. I mean, and I couldn't get over the way he played that guitar. It's been a long time since I heard anyone play a guitar like him, and I call it a talking guitar, because I mean, when he sings, if no one's ever heard of a talking guitar, I mean, they can make the words just come out flowing. Now that's talent. Now that is talent. And we surely enjoyed him. So I'm going to end this program right here, because if I go on, they're not going to let me load it up. So I'm going to say God bless and keep you, and I'll be back with another one about the other 2 performers. Now bye.